guys.
Hey, how are y'all? We are back.
And it was not easy doing this detox.
No, apparently we did the GAPS diet hardcore as well.
Yeah.
We were incredibly extreme with it, being on the broth and the garlic and the bio-occult probiotics and that kind of stuff for me, a year and a half, for her, about 2.5 years. So we thought we'd do the medical mediums detox diet the same extreme way. Well, while that has been good for us in the sense of detoxing.
Well, and I'm sleeping now, which is brand new for me.
Well, and because of that, that has kept us sick. I think we've been sick 4 times, or 5 times for her, I think. 4 times for me since the beginning of January when we started the diet. So we had to ease way off on it, because I think for most people, if you do the detox stuff that quickly and that hard, you're going to be sick quite a bit. So anyway, we have eased off and we're back. And
we're both still coughing.
Yes, so we won't have any coughing fits, I don't think.
I don't know.
But anyway, we're going to talk today about a little bit more about how the medical mediums detox diet has really opened me up personality-wise, emotion-wise. We'll also tell a short story about me going to do something on my own, which when I was autistic, I hardly ever did because it was scary to just be out anywhere. But anyway, did you want to ask questions, or did we just want to start telling stories?
Well, another reason the detox has been worth it is for what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to talk about today is what I said we were going to talk about today.
But I was going back to my point where I've been sleeping, and so the detox has been worth it for being able to sleep, but it's also been worth it because Mark has awakened so much.
Yes. Okay, do we want to talk about that, or we talk about sleeping?
No, yours.
Okay. All right. So anyway, over the past, since I started the GAPS diet, a lot of my internal personality that I didn't know was there has come out. And what I mean by that is things that I found that I liked certain things that I never really liked before. For instance, pipe smoking. I picked that up back in fall of 2016. And while I don't smoke a pipe every day, about once a week, sometimes only once a month. But anyway, I found that I really enjoy that. I really like it. I'm also recovering things that I used to like, and I'm developing those things now. For instance, my love of World War I planes, aircraft, the air war in Europe during World War I. I'm also recovering, other things that I like. Computers, for one. I love computers, as evidenced by my bookshelf, which you can't really see right now, but that's okay. And a lot of those things are coming out. And I'm finding that what I was really trying to do was to find me.
Because you had no sense of self.
Yes, and
explain that.
At least for me, being autistic, having no sense of self is this. When I say I had no sense of self, what I mean is this. I didn't really know who I was in the sense of how I would react to people. I didn't know how I would act or react in certain situations, either with people or in a work environment. I couldn't even feel how much I liked me. And that's an important part. In other words, it's a sense of self is really how much meaning you have to yourself. Self-meaning, I guess, if you want to use that word. But in other words, it's knowing how much you're worth to you. And I did not know that as an autistic person. It was incredibly difficult for me to dig any of my own self-worth out. And so having to work through all the emotional things that went around that too, is it worth it getting to know myself? I can actually get to know myself and dig around in the sub-basement of my psyche, so to speak, to help recover some of the things that the autism covered over or helped drop away, which was not a good thing.
What do you think? What do you think caused that? What do you think made you not know who you were?
I think what made me not know who I was first and foremost, I think I probably had this condition that was undiagnosed. It's called alexithymia, the inability to recognize and label your own emotions. So in other words, what that means is, as an example, when you have alexithymia, you don't know that you're angry. And you can't say, oh, I'm angry, and say, oh, that's anger. You can't recognize your own emotions. Whether it's, I could say that there were two that I did recognize, anger and frustration. Those I always recognized. But being happy, no. I could only recognize what happiness was for me, how it felt to be happy. Really, in the latter stages of the GAPS diet and doing the medical medium detox diet. And when you don't know how you are on the inside emotionally, you don't really know you. And I think a lot of people...
So are you saying that you have to have emotion to be self-aware?
I think that's what self-awareness is being aware of your own emotions. And I think that's a good question. And I think if you know your own emotions, you're really knowing you. I mean, you don't know how you feel in a certain situation. That's what I should say. Not so much act, but because you act on feelings a lot of times. But I think if you don't know your own emotions, you don't really know you. And if you have, I don't know how many people with autism are also co-diagnosed with alexithymia, but I think that is a big problem. It's not that autistic people don't have emotions. They do. It's just something in the brain that's off or not working properly doesn't allow you to recognize them, doesn't allow you to go, oh, that's happiness. Oh, that's despair. Oh, that's depression. I don't even think a lot of autistic people, and I'm only talking here as far as high-functioning autism goes, are able to say, well, I'm depressed. I think some can, and I think some can actually feel it. But it sounds like, in the wide reading that I've done, that most autistic people can't tell you how they feel in a lot of situations. Maybe not all, but most of them.
So this week he came to me and said, I went and got myself a new bank card today. And I was like, what?
Well, it's funny. I didn't really realize when I had Asperger's syndrome, there were a lot of things I didn't do by myself, especially the more social that it was, and because I just had trouble interacting with people, not being able to know what they were going to say, not knowing what I was going to say. I would spend maybe hours, sometimes days, rehearsing how a particular interaction I thought might go, and then it didn't go that way, and I was lost. And so a lot of times I couldn't do things for myself unless I had her help, unless she came with me.
And that would have been one of the big things that he would have needed help with.
Yes. But I'd been trying to do the bank card thing. I had gone into the bank a few months back, and they said, well, do it online. Well, so they showed me how to do it online, but it didn't give me the choice to choose a card with my name on it, only her name. So I went into the bank. What day was that? Thursday? I guess it was Thursday or Wednesday, something like that. And I said, no, it was yesterday. And I went yesterday on Friday. And so they said, well, you can do that online. I said, it didn't work for me online. So I need to get a new bank card. And it annoyed me because they want to do everything online. I'm like, if it worked online, I would have done it online. So finally, I signed up to sit down to talk to one of the bankers. And the lady came out, and I said, well, here's the situation. I said, I just need a new bank card. This one is inconsistently scanning or chip reading, whatever. And so she went ahead and set me up with my own profile on our online account, and I got it all done.
He did it all by himself.
Yeah, apparently that was a big. I didn't realize how much of a big
shocked.
Deal that was. Well, she was shocked, but I was like, okay, I'm not sure why you're shocked. I'm shocked you're shocked, but I didn't. And as I think back on it, while I can't come up with any examples that I know of when I had the autism,
well, I even went with you to get your driver's license as soon as recently as moving here.
Yeah, that has been 7 years.
Yeah, it's been
7
a couple
years.
diets ago.
Okay, a couple diets. There we go. That our new geological time era. A couple diets ago. Anyway, but and so that happened quite a bit in our marriage, in our relationship. She would help me go do things. It was like, you know what it was? It was like having an advocate, like having an assistant, because I had a disability and I needed somebody to help me with my disability.
So when he came home and said, "I got a new bank card," nonchalantly, I was like, "What? You did it by yourself?"
Yeah. Well, there wasn't all that emotion. Well, if there was, she didn't show any of it.
Well, I was trying not to at that point. Now I'm hamming it up a bit.
Well, yes. For the audience, which is fine too. But yeah,
I really was that shocked though.
Okay. Well, again, I'm shocked that she's shocked. But I found it interesting that was a big deal to her. And as I think about it, that took time out of your time, took time out of your life.
Yes.
To come help take care of me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so that was that's what caregivers do when they have autistic adults and children in their lives, is they spend so much time helping to care for that person. And it's not the autistic person's fault. It's not your fault. It's nobody's fault.
What it is.
It's just autism.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was important for me to lose the autism. But now that I can do so much on my own, I wouldn't want to go back and say, "Hey, can you come with me to do this? Can you come with me to fix a utility bill, to pay a bill?" No, that I am happy to be independently on my own now.
And that's new. It's very cool.
It is. And
that's the medical medium, because you weren't doing that.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that in the GAPS diet. I think I did that a little bit. Well, I did that a little bit. I think back in 2015, you had commented on Facebook about, he's talking business opportunities with different people, and he's out.
Yeah, you were talking, but you didn't actually do it.
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
Now you're actually doing things.
I think the loss of the heavy metals on the medical medium's detox diet, and then all the other things that it's doing for me as well, has really changed my ability to be self-motivated.
Yeah.
I was self-motivated pretty much even as an aspie, at least as far as when I was at work. But now, whatever I want to do, I just generally tend to do it, unless there's a lot of emotional baggage contained around it, which now I know I've got the tools and the know-how now to get rid of that emotional baggage.
Yes.
So,
did you have anything else?
Not that I can think of. But if anybody has any questions, let's see. Hey, Pamela and Camilla, I see you. You guys have any questions? Okay, that's fine. We're going to end this now. But if you have any questions, post them right here under the live, and we'll answer you back. Thanks. Talk to you later.
Thanks. Bye.